Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shamayo, and this is MeWe Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Northwest, many online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm excited to be here today with Brenda Asterino. Brenda, it's lovely to be with you.
Oh, it's great to be with you, Lorelei. Thank you.
You are so welcome. So tell us, what is it that you do? We can kind of see around you. Tell us, what do you do and what do you offer at our events?
There'll be energy work, which I'm very pleased to say. I can also do long distance at the fairs. I'll be doing hands-on, or sometimes I do things like toning, which is where we sit together and I'll make some noises. Um, So people would have different abilities in choosing what they would like and how they want to participate with me in improving their well-being, their health, their energy levels, how to learn more about their own energies so that they can carry on in their everyday life with using strategies and remembering what it feels like to be grounded, more energized, in a calm way, in a way that makes you comfortable with switching gears and using your abilities and talents in the world. So it's an integration.
Hmm. We'll see.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it sounds like at the
Yes,
fairs you focus on energy work and clearly you do lots of other things too, right? You're a psychic and a medium and
yes.
so
I can,
well yeah,
I
so
can,
do you do any of that at the fairs with people too? You say that
yes,
for private sessions or
absolutely. Absolutely. That's something that I can also do from a distance so that if people would want to call me, we can do this at the fair, so we can do it after the fairs um, also. So the psychic work, I'm a certified medium. Um, I do palm readings, and that is something that sometimes, if people want a real long reading, I'm doing some now where people send me pictures of their hands and I write up a report. So people are getting 3 to 5 page reports on their hands.
Mhm.
At the fairs, it would be a little shorter, but I can read their palms. I can read their energy fields. So they could have a combination of psychic, mediumship, energy fields, palms, all in the same reading if they want.
Wow,
They can
wow.
experience whatever they want to. They can also bring items with them if they want me to read a ring that belonged to Aunt Audrey and tell them a little bit more about Aunt Audrey. Or if they're doing genealogy and they have a stumbling block, I can ask their relatives who have passed where the person should go next to look for information or what countries they haven't explored yet.
And
Yes.
I can see too that you do house and space cleansings and clearings. So that's something you
Yes.
do too?
I love doing those. And that's something I can do in person or again, long distance. Um, it's also a form of integration. So, if the house, sometimes houses are full of old emotional energies from the people who have lived there before, or if the family has gone through a trauma and that emotional energy is hanging on in the house, then that can be cleared out. After I do the clearing, I also integrate the house and integrate it with the family so that it feels like theirs again. Frequently, I give them prayers or a ritual that they can do as a family so that if something else happens in the future, they can join together as a family. The most important thing for people to know is that the home is theirs. They have the power to establish that and demand that that home be for them. and be theirs. So I like to help the people feel empowered to take charge of their own settings also. Yes, that's important.
So you do so many things. How did you first like open to your gifts? How did you discover working with people that it's something you wanted to do? And yeah,
Oh, that's a long story. I'll try to
give
make
us a
it.
little bit of it. Yeah.
Um, so I was born into a family where there were lots of people who who dabbled in this kind of work. My father's mother talked to dead people. I'll never forget what her house was like, full of candles and praying for the dead. And of course, that was during Vietnam, so she would have candles lit for all the relatives there. It was a wonder and awesome for me to walk into the room with crystal and silver holders full of candles all over the room. It was amazing. I had a cousin who was like 14 years older than I am, and she would read me stories from mythology. So I had the archetype of characters introduced to me when I was very young. We would also together explore aspects of nature. So Pat was very important to me in my life, and I like to remember her for the the pathway she helped me go down. I also had a time in my life that I wanted to be normal. And I wanted to do the things and have the lives that I thought were normal. That didn't turn out to be so much fun. So eventually I realized I had to go back and explore those things in myself. Then I was in a very bad car accident, and that took me more into the energy realm of things because the medications they would put me on after a head injury and bad traumas to my body, the medications were taking their toll. Some were
Mhm.
helpful. I'm not against allopathic care at all, but I needed to do something else to help myself. And I got into different kinds of energy work. So I became an advanced practitioner in Japanese Reiki. I really think it's partly DNA related. I ended up finding what helped me most and gave me the most joy to do were energy approaches that were related to channeling energy the way martial arts do.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
that led me to the Crucible program with Rosalind Bruyere and Ken Weintraub. And eventually I took some healing touch courses also, which interesting during COVID. That's the techniques that many nurses use. And during COVID, they got into long distance work because of COVID. So that helped me tweak and fine tune my long distance work. Um, so it's been a fascinating journey. I've met, I did the things of getting becoming a reverend in different organizations. One of them was Lively Stones, and that man was extremely interesting. He started out as a Hell's Angel, ended up converting to Christianity. He became um, very fluent in Hebrew and Greek and translated some of the old texts himself and taught from there. Then I'm also related or established as a reverend by the She's group here in Washington State. Um, and that's the spiritual healing and earth stewards group.
Mhm.
So yes, Some of these people have been alchemists. Some of the people I've met have been into sacred geometry, and I do use some sacred geometry in what I do. The toning came kind of naturally. Rosalind Bruyère's group is often overlaps with the Bon Po people.
Hmm.
And so after taking classes with them and with Emily Conrad's continuum group, who she uses toning to integrate the nervous system more. Between those two things, I got into the toning more. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Wow. Well, so when you came back to this work, did you
Mhm.
start working with people fairly soon, or was it really focused on you for a long time? And when did you start working with
It
others?
was um, when I started taking classes with the various alternative approaches, people would say to me, I would take the classes for things like craniosacral work from Upledger because craniosacral work really was helpful to me with my head injury. And it occurred to me if I take the classes half the time, people are working on you because you practice on each other. So I'm getting more therapy for the money I'm putting out. And when I would do that, and it was my turn to work on people, other people, they would say, You're good at this, Brenda. You should be doing this. So that gave me the confidence and got me more into working with other people. I used to be in education before the major car accident. And so I'd always worked with, I was a special ed supervisor
Mm-hmm.
when the accident happened. So I always had an interest in helping people with cognitive differences too. And I've always found that they are differences. I never considered them disabilities. And energy work can be helpful with that too. Neuro-linguistic programming is one of the courses I took at the Ohio Academy of Holistic Health, and that can be very helpful with approaching aspects in the classroom that children need some encouragement and self-confidence in using their natural skills to get to where the school system wants them to be. So, yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it all.
Wow.
Colors,
Wow.
colors have been helpful too with kids. Help, it facilitates and kind of keeps them engrossed in reading more and using color transparencies over things. So, yeah, it's been a delightful journey.
I appreciate so much care and compassion and spaciousness and all the skillfulness and capacity that you bring to
Oh,
people.
thank you. Thank you. Um, it's one of those things that I think I get back more than what I give sometimes because the joy alone is invigorating for me and makes me feel good about doing more. So it's going to be a joy to be working at your fairs, Lorelei.
So
I
glad to
love,
have you, Brenda.
thank
Well,
you.
so if people want to reach out to you, what are the best ways to get to you? I see some of the contact info for you on your screen, and then,
Mhm.
yeah.
They can call me at 360-228-8640 or email me, Bren Aster, the first part of my first and last names, BRENAS like Sam, TER at AOL.com. Either
Okay,
way, it's a
great.
good way to reach me. They might want to put in the email something like psychic or mediumship or some energy, something like that. So it cues me more.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, what they might be interested in doing with you. And great,
Yes.
great. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to have more people experience you and your work. And
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lorelei. I
you're
appreciate.
you're very welcome. And all of you listening and watching, you can find out more about all of our events at MeWeFairs.com. Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you.